This meeting will be live streamed.
Speak to me.
We're trying to come to order. Folks.
You need a hammer.
Hammer? I don't have it here. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? There are no public hearings. We have a delegation, a presentation on A.B. Ellis Public School Building. Bessie Butch and Kat Ashton. Please come up. Please state your name and the group you represent, please.
I'm Bessie Budge, and I'm representing the Committee to Save A.B. Ellis School. We are on this committee to save A.B. Ellis School, and our vision statement is, our committee is determined to engage and enlist the support of the residents of Espanola and area to help save the former A.B. Ellis building from demolition. Our mission statement is, we will explore all options to save and repurpose this building of historical significance and see it become a vibrant hub in the Espanola community to provide much needed housing for residents and support the economic and social cohesion of the downtown core. Our message is simple. We feel that it would be a shame and a tragedy to demolish this wonderful historical building for a parking lot. This building that could be so useful to our community in so many ways. I'd like to read you some responses taken from the Oracle poll of 2016 from the Economic Development Office. A survey question was, what do you like most about Espanola? Response, very nice. The convenience, everything is close by, and the recreation activities. Another question was, what is the most important issue facing the community at this time? Response, affordable living housing. Another question, what is the top economic development priority? Response was once again, seniors housing, improving the downtown, and new housing development. Another question, what do you like least about Espanola? Again about homes, lack of retirement homes. Question, reasons why you would relocate to Espanola. It's a small community, it's great for retirement, and for all the good services that it has. The location of the A.B. Ellis building is critical. There's the library, recreation center, post office, churches, shopping, and of course at GT. Let's make good use of this wonderful old building and not be sorry that we destroyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm Kat Ashton. The building that once housed A.B. Ellis Public School was originally built in 1919. Located in Espanola's downtown core, it's one of the oldest buildings, public buildings in town. Due to declining enrollment, the school itself was removed across the street to share space with the Espanola High School, and the property is being leased by the Catholic School Board while the new Sacred Heart building is being constructed. We've been told that when this lease ends, the old A.B. Ellis building is slated for demolition to provide 160 additional parking spaces. However, the previously designated parking lot for Sacred Heart teachers stands completely empty, and it stands to reason that the same falling enrollment numbers that prompted the relocation of the school will affect the need for parking spaces. This summer, we were made aware that this demolition agreement has been in place since 2014 without meaningfully consulting taxpayers who funded the school for almost 100 years. The school is structurally sound, fully accessible, and worth $9.9 million. Demolition costs are estimated at $2 million. The members of the Espanola Community Hub organization do not agree that this is the best use of our tax dollars. From numerous sources, including the data that Mrs. Budge has just shared with you, we've identified a great need for accessible housing in Espanola, particularly single units, especially accessible ones within easy reach of town amenities. Now, the province of Ontario offers funding for the maintenance and conversion of decommissioned public buildings into community hubs that address local needs. We are confident of support from the broader community, and it would make things run much more smoothly if we could count on support from council as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for both of you for your presentation. Thank you very much. The question period is now open.
Good evening, Your Worship. Fellow Councilors. My name is Richard Ellis. I'm a resident of Espanola. I'll be reading this because there's a quote. At the September 26th council meeting, the decision was made to defer the new garbage collection changes for 6 months. Yet, 2 weeks later, the town website still has the following information posted on, and I quote, garbage collection changes starting November the 3rd. Starting November the 3rd, 2017, Espanola residents will be required to use a maximum of 2 clear bags for the waste collection. Read the Clear Waste Bag Flyer, PDF, for more information. Excuse me, it's included. My question is, why is it still on the website?
I don't know.
Really sure.
It's taken off of there, it is. That'll be done.
My follow-up question. Will council instruct staff to issue a mail-out to residents informing them of the 6-month deferral and the pending changes to the initial submission?
Council can look at that.
Thank you.
Part 1 of the consent agenda.
Moved by Councillor Ken Duplessis, second by Councillor Bill Foster. Be it resolved that items A1 to F2 inclusive contained in Part 1 consent agenda be adopted.
Under the A section, are there any questions or comments? Under the B section, are there any questions or comments? Under the D section, are there any questions or comments? Under the E section, questions or comments? Under the F section, any questions or comments there? Items A1 to F2 inclusive and contained in Part 1 consent agenda be adopted. All in favor? Carried.
Moving into Part 2 of the regular agenda, moved by Councillor Ron Duplessis, second by Councillor Ray Dufour. Be it resolved that Council for the Town of Espanola endorses the letter prepared by the East Ferris Economic Development Committee that was forwarded to Anthony Rhoda MP, and further that this resolution and copy of letter be circulated to Mike Mantha, MPP, Carol Hughes, MP, Amo, Roma, Agra, and Pinal.
Questions or comments? Councilor Ron.
I had asked for this to be placed on the agenda. We got an email showing that East Ferris had done this letter. I think it's important that we support them. Every day, if you listen to the news, Your Worship, you'll see where these tax changes are going to affect. I know what it was intending to do, affect people that are getting away with loopholes, but unfortunately, it's going to affect some really low-income people. I heard again today, and I was surprised to hear it, because I guess it's coming out gradually. Even people who get the little perks if they work in low-income jobs, where they get a reduction in their prices on things they purchase from where they work or a meal, will have to now pay taxes on those perks. I mean, I think it was nice that we're looking at closing loopholes, but it was supposed to be for the more financially secure people, not the poor guy at the bottom. So I think it's important, especially with Tony Rhoda. He's a Liberal MP from North Bay who sits on the same government as is passing this legislation.
Right on. Anyone else? All in favor? Carried.
Item G2, moved by Councilor Ron Dupussy, second by Councilor Ray Dufour. Be resolved that, 1, council declare the office of Councilor Stuart Mickelham as vacant as per section 262(1) of the Municipal Act, and 2, council proceed with filling the vacancy by, and as you'll see in the staff report, the options are by-election or by appointment.
Questions or comments? Councillor Ron?
From my point of view, Your Worship, we should be filling this by appointment, and I think being with the democratic system that we are, it should be the 7th person who would have been elected had we not had 6 elected. And with that in mind, I would like to recommend that we do that, fill it with that individual.
Anybody else? Councillor Bill?
Can we, instead of just saying 7 person, we start with the person with the highest number of votes
Which was
who will accept the position? That way, if someone, we don't
Declines.
delay the process by, if someone declines it.
Councillor Bob?
Yep, that's actually, in my opinion, I know there's 3 options for the town of Espanola. In my opinion, the precedent's been set in the past by, normally it's been an appointment, and it's been the next person on the results in the election. But I think you also have to qualify it. I think it mentions in here, they also have to meet the, they have to also still be qualified. And that's all. So as Councillor Foster said, if they want it, and qualifications, and I think that that's the quickest and easiest way. Sure as heck not going to spend any money on a by-election,
No.
not having that.
Proceed with,
Do we have to have a date? Do we have to have a date? Do we have to have a date, or is it just automatically happen? Yeah, okay. It's automatic. Yeah. I had that written down, I forgot to ask.
Council will proceed with the filling the vacancy by appointment. Appoint the person with the next highest number of votes who qualifies and accepts. All in favor? Carried.
So item G3 is regarding the garbage and recycling education program. At the last council meeting, the garbage bylaw was, council requested that we defer for 6 months for more education. So staff is really just looking for some direction. It was mentioned earlier, is the public going to be informed? We were waiting for this meeting with direction to, send something out to the public to let them know. But we're looking for what else council would like staff to do with respect to the education portion of the garbage.
Councillor Ron?
I saw the mail out that we've done, and I was impressed. I liked it. I would like to recommend to council that we set up a subcommittee to look at all the variations and things that are possible, and maybe review everything prior, and then come back to council with recommendations.
Okay. Councillor Bob?
I think we'd already decided at the last meeting it was getting kicked to corporate services, so I don't see much use in another subcommittee. Regarding the education program, I really had to wonder at that myself after I sat back and looked at it. I think the best education program I've seen, everybody knows about recycling. We don't, people aren't recycling because they don't want to. The best education program we've seen on recycling and that I've seen anyway around this town is what's just been going through. We already have the momentum. Anybody who walks around as much as I do, including on Friday mornings especially, there is a marked increase in blue boxes, very distinct increase in blue boxes, let me tell you. And they are full. We are seeing an increase in recycling. We already see the clear bags being used. We see people already practicing. I've had far more positive than negative comments on what's going to happen. What I have had questions is this recyclable, is that recyclable? I've gotten the answers for people in some instances. In other instances, I knew it. In others, I've done like yourself, your worship, and given them the mail out that was already mailed out once, as we see in here, the cost. We got staff time invested here in that. We have a really good education program underway. We need to tune up. It isn't the recycling we're working on. We're supposed to be working on a collection bylaw for garbage. We need to get that tuned up and get that underway. My understanding was we said 6 months, but we don't have to wait 6 months. Corporate should get on with this and get it underway. The momentum is built. We have a good education program. There are a couple of things that I think that need to be emphasized, but they actually come from the Riverside end, to be honest, our contractor. And one is apparently people have been having their recycled products that they're placing out in the light colored blue bags rejected. And perhaps Riverside did not emphasize enough that those can't be used anymore, and with good reason. It doesn't have nothing to do with the town or our landfill or anything. It has to do with the landfill they were using. And the other thing I think we need to emphasize, I was surprised, I had 2 people tell me they did not realize that we had a garden waste dump operating. I was kind of surprised at that. So, but it's fall now. Maybe we just need a reminder in one form or another in the local media or on the website. But I mean, really, we really have a great education program going, I believe, right now.
It didn't work in the past.
Well-
Dr. Ron, you going to make that statement again about the...
I thought I wasn't under the impression that corporate had been given the directive to go ahead and review all this bylaw and do it all.
Yep.
You're the chairman, I don't know, did I miss that?
I missed it.
You missed it?
That was my understanding
I
was
didn't
it was sent to
understand that.
corporate services, that they would take it.
Well, I think we should send it to corporate services, even if.
Well, I don't have a problem, but we
Yeah,
have to
and that's your
decide where we're going.
subcommittee, and corporate service will review it and then go back to council.
We can do it there, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that wasn't
Absolutely.
the directive. I understood
But if
last
this
time.
is a collection bylaw, it's nothing to do with recycling.
Yeah.
No, but
My
it
suggestion
will
is,
have a
They're tied
reflection.
in, yeah.
it needed, yes, definitely needed some tidying
But
up.
we need to do something that's going to satisfy the
Yeah.
citizens of Espanola.
Absolutely.
Because they're the ones that are having the problem, not me, not you.
But there are people
The
having
people,
problems.
the people in Espanola are having a problem with it. Yes, Ken?
Okay, we'll put it in corporate services, then we'll come up with suggestions. Obviously, the publicity on this is very good. I didn't realize it was that much.
Oh, yeah.
We have to, but a lot of people don't get the monitor. And a lot of seniors and people,
Around in about 2, sorry,
it was on online apparently.
and online.
And a lot of people don't use computers, the seniors especially.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. That's what we're missing in terms of education.
Well, I
That's
think-
how we
I
have to
think-
address that at corporate services, see what else we can do with that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think staff has a good idea of doing it at the open house truck.
Yes.
country club.
Absolutely.
They're
That'd be a
gonna
good
have the contractor there and everything. So that's gonna help out if people want to know and get figured out what goes and what doesn't go. You'll probably have some material there for that as well.
It will if people show up.
If people
There's
show
a
up.
problem.
Well,
But that's a good,
Yeah.
it's a good
yeah.
form.
Councillor Bob.
Well, the one thing about people showing up, I was there last year, on Friday afternoon, and they showed up because we had the carvers. So there will be a good turnout, assuming the weather, okay, we won't talk about the weather, just in case. The thing is, Riverside will be there, but the questions I got were constructive. I mean, very constructive. I heard a few negative things. People don't like change, I get it, I don't like change. But it is obvious we have a good education program underway right now, and I think we, at this moment in time, till corporate's gotta alter or review the collection bylaw. For the moment, the education program that's underway, which is Wasteless Wednesday, I guess, is part of it on Facebook, excuse me, should continue. I mean, let's continue it. It's there. There've been a lot of questions on Facebook, a lot of good positive comments. The odd negative thing comes with the territory. But this is gonna happen, and this is a revenue generator for us. So the longer we fiddle around with this, the more revenue we are not getting. And that's so, let's get forward on it. I really did understand, though, that it was going to corporate services, so, sorry about that.
Go ahead, Ken.
We have to make sure we get it right.
Yeah,
So if it takes a
Yeah.
little longer, let's get it right this time.
That's right.
We're not, I
And
know
we
we're
we
losing.
have to satisfy a great number of people. We can't just satisfy a small group. We're here for the whole town. Councillor Ray.
Okay,
You were.
all right. I understand what we're doing here, and I like it. The problem is, we are trying for a waste-free Ontario. I believe that's the wording out there now. Our problem here in Espanola is the amount of plastics we're putting in our landfill site. We can't correct that with this thing we're trying to do. That's not gonna be corrected. It's still gonna end up with a whole bunch of plastics that they do not pick up. Until we can get a supply, or we can get someone, a contractor, to pick up all our plastics, we're gonna end up with this problem, and it won't matter. The problem is gonna exist. The only, and now trying to get things cut down to 2 bags, well, we got more garbage because Riverside, I went and talked to them, a lot of stuff they don't take. A lot of plastics, a lot of different items, unless they got this triangle on it or
Yeah.
whatever, right? Well, I looked at a bag, like, I opened up some water today and I looked at the actual cellophane it comes in. It's very thick plastic. It's not recyclable. I mean, none of it is. The bottles are hardly recyclable right now.
But doesn't that just go to the landfill?
It does, and that's my point. We're not helping that. We're not helping the landfill site, no matter which way we do it. Whether we're taking in 2 bags or 4 bags.
But the legislation only involves the municipality of Espanola. It doesn't involve the
legislation,
landfill site.
but the legislation is not out yet.
But it doesn't involve the landfill. The landfill will
But
take all the prosecution further.
aren't we trying to get a cleaner Ontario? Then we have to start at the landfill and see what it's taken in. Right now, we're not doing that.
Your worship, a little point of order here. I think we're missing what this is, which is direction to staff. This is not a discussion about garbage or recycling or anything else.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Yeah, it is.
whatever, it's the mayor's job to decide that.
Just heard everybody else around the table discuss it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think the province has to do some legislating as far as the landfill sites are concerned. We have not a problem, but we have an issue because our landfill site is privately owned. And he's got a big sign right out in front of what he'll take. And they'll take everything.
They will. That's our problem.
But
though. We're
the
giving them
government-
everything.
The government is going to have to come to terms with what the landfills are going to be legislated at. Right now, it's just a municipality.
That's the point. I mean, until they legislate us and set us in the right direction to do this, for instance, they're saying, don't put any food in your bags. I mean, we're not set up to not do that right now.
No.
We have to throw food in the bag. Don't put any plastics in that bag. Well, we have to because they're not taking it. They got an announcement going on in Blind River, and they're not taking it. All I'm trying to say is that we're ending up with more garbage, but less bags to put it in. You know, I'm just trying
We're
to,
going to have corporate look at it. And
Yes.
we're going to sort this all out. and
yes,
see
well,
what we
corporate
can
wasn't
do.
aware.
We'll see what we can do. Councilor Ron, did you
No,
have a
I'm just
comment?
gonna go with what you're saying, your worship, that I think at corporate, when we, either as a whole or as a subcommittee, maybe we'll have to look. I know in Sudbury, they pick everything.
Yeah.
And our point of
They've got
where our
an-
stuff goes doesn't take everything.
They've got an app on here and you can just punch in whatever it is, and they'll tell you what to do with it and where to put it and everything else.
Right.
And they take a lot of stuff.
Our end result is here that the place that takes our stuff doesn't take it all. Other places do.
Yeah.
Take a lot more than,
You may find that that's not necessarily the case, okay?
We'll have to look at that.
I was at an AMO conference, and they talked about a number of things that they can't recycle.
No, that's-
Styrofoam's one of them.
Right on.
Okay, and doesn't matter where you are in the province, they don't
don't take-
recycle it. Maybe they pick it up and then put it to the dump, but they can't recycle everything.
That's right. So let's leave it to corporate.
Bill had a question, Worship.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna suggest one more thing from a
Go
direction
ahead.
standpoint. So we're gonna push it to corporate services, and corporate services will review the bylaw. We should probably make sure that any information we've got on recycling doesn't include any of the details of the bylaw until we've decided on a bylaw, maybe just general stuff that's recyclable. And,
The recycling's not changing, it's just the garbage though, so the
Yeah.
pamphlet that's up
Yeah.
there is valid.
yeah, so we shouldn't, I just, until we settle on the bylaw and how we're gonna handle the garbage, we should at least, make sure we don't comment on that. And I guess, at the same time, we can, we've had a suggestion there, and a question that we at least let residents know that it's been delayed for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it? Oh, it's information only.
I'll take that.
All right. And there was actually quite a bunch of ads put in for a long time.
Yeah.
On that recycling thing.
Page section.
Okay. This information previously circulated to council. If required, a copy of the information is available at the municipal office. The September check register is available there. Stewardship Ontario correspondence regarding second quarter funding for Blue Box. Conference and conventions, none. Mayor and council reports and announcements, verbal. Bob.
Nothing, Your Worship, thank you.
Ray.
I have nothing.
John.
I'd like to thank Paula for her information on the berm, because of the zoning in that area, it's not required. And also, I see where we put in, under the Highway 6 paving and the lanes. Will I be getting information or with
It's
council?
coming to community services.
And also I seen about the fox problem at the cemetery was not on there, as I brought it up.
On
and
on the minutes?
Yeah,
Okay, then we are taking care of that.
yeah, it wasn't on the minutes.
We'll add that.
Thank you.
Councilor Ken.
Thanks.
Councilor Bill.
I don't have anything.
I had an opportunity to go to the United Church 150th Canada Day there, and it was all about different groups that were going there and singing or playing. There were violins, there was a cello, or a bass, something, right? Anyway, they did a really good job. I was really impressed with everything they did, and I enjoyed our time there.
Did you come downstairs for the cake too, Your Worship?
No, I didn't.
I saw it,
tried
I
to
noticed
stay
that you
away
weren't
from-
there.
I tried to
I
stay
was
away
the
from
one.
Cake that late in the evening doesn't do my blood sugar any good at all. So with that, future council committee meetings, community services committee meeting of October the 17th, 2017 at 3 p.m. And regular meeting of council meeting of October 24th, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. And we're all in favor of adjourning this?
Are we not meeting at the 24th meeting an hour before?
I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
mention that, John.
Yeah, and The regular meeting of council is...
Can I just add that there is meeting, committee of the whole meeting on October 24th
Oh,
at 6:30 regarding the.
Fire.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah.
October 24th.
That'll be a standing meeting at 6:30, the second meeting of, the fourth Tuesday of the month.
Okay, we got that down. Now, this regular meeting of council is hereby adjourned. We're going to be going to,
All in favor, Ron?
what?
All in favor?
All in favor? Jesus. No. We'll be going into an in-camera meeting, and please